You are listening to the Iconic Agent New Construction Marketing Podcast.
I'm Nathaniel Crawford.
And I'm Damon Green.
We've helped agents sell over $400 million in new construction since 2020.
And now we're here to skyrocket your sales. Let's build your real estate empire and create the life you deserve. In this episode, we discuss what to say when you walk into a sales center and the simplicity behind on-site relationships.
All right, so we often get the comment made that, well, it's a question in a comment. So the comment is, I'm scared. I don't know what to say when I go to the sales center, or I feel awkward when I walk in the sales center. What do I say? Mm-hmm. So for agents that still have that fear, whatever reason that is, what is your advice on, I'll give me yours and then I'll give you mine. What do you say when you walk into the sales centers? Because I actually used to say one thing and then you came and said, don't say that, because you can just.
Well, the first thing is real estate is a people business. If you don't want to talk to people, if you have high anxiety about talking to people, you should not be selling real estate. Because real estate, it makes it your job to talk to strangers at a very basic level. You sell stuff. You have to sell stuff. Most of the stuff you sell is going to be sold to people who didn't know you before they needed you to sell them something.
And a side note on that, if you don't like to be sold to, you shouldn't be a real estate agent, because you're trying to do something that you don't like being done to you and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, but everybody gets sold on everything. Your children sell you on feeding them. So if you don't want a career out of talking to people, then you should go be a coder. Go work from the computer.
Yes.
Your job is to talk to people. So that's sort of the baseline there. Now the next thing that on top of that is agents will have anxiety about walking into a sales center, especially when they're newer, because they feel like they don't know what to ask. They don't know what to say.
And I think part of that too is a lot of agents still do not realize that new construction is completely different. Outside of being the much easier sale, it's completely different than traditional. So traditional real estate is, we got some new construction coming over here. Traditional real estate is seller's agent, buyer's agent. I'm here for my client. I'm here for my client. We're just going to keep doing this until we figure something out. Versus new construction, the on-site rep is the seller's rep. The builder's the seller. That's their rep. You are a buyer's agent, and they want to give you a big hug every time you walk in there, because over 60% of sales is done by us, not by them. They need something. They need people. They need agents. So anything you can do to get in front of them, or they can do to get in front of you, they're going to appreciate. So it's not the traditional tumultuous relationship. It's a partnership.
Yeah. A good on-site salesperson understands that the vast majority of their business comes from the brokerage community. And on top of that, or it as a part of that, they understand that on-site salespeople, and this is what you should remember as an agent too, on-site sales staff have two customers. Their customer is the buyer, but their customer is also you as that buyer's agent. That sales director on site is going to each one of those people, each one of those agents, saying, how many agents did you talk to today?
Yep.
How many buyers did you talk to today? They have quotas, so they have to talk to a certain number of agents, and those agents are expected to bring the buyers, because the on-site sales director, that developer, they know where it comes from. So you having anxiety walking into a sales center to talk to someone whose job it is to talk to you is similar to having anxiety walking into a restaurant to order food.
Yeah.
Like they're there, it's their job. Now when you come in, understanding what you should say so you don't make yourself look silly, you don't want to come in, because there are a lot of people who will tell you, oh, just go in and act like you have a client.
That's what I used to say, do, and you were like, oh, that's dumb as hell, don't do it.
Because you can't build a relationship on the premise of a lie.
Yes.
There's no great relationship that was started on a lie. So by doing that, you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're putting yourself in a position where if you have a good on-site agent, they're going to know you're lying very quickly. Because what happens is you walk in and you say, hey, on-site salesperson, my name's Nate. I have a client that may be interested here. I want to get a little more information about the
Tell me
property.
about your client.
Exactly. And when they do that, now I have to imagine a whole client to then give them, so they give me information because they want to give me information specific to my client. And then at some point, if I actually continue to work with this person, I actually extend this relationship and I'm trying to get information, it's going to become obvious that I was lying when we met, that I didn't have a client then.
Yeah.
And then that makes that person, like you would do with anyone who started your relationship with life, that makes you question everything they say.
Yeah.
So it's much easier to say, and I say this, and I've been selling real estate for almost 2 decades. Hey, I don't have a client right now, but I'd like to know more about the project so that I'm bringing the right clients here. So when I have people, I know what works for them. I know what won't work for them. And on-site sales, that usually makes way more sense, because then instead of them just showing you information about this imaginary client that you have, they then show you all the information that's relevant to whatever your client may need, whatever different types of clients. They're more likely to talk to you about all the avatars they're seeing, all the types of buyers that are coming in, what different people are saying about different things. They're not just going to talk about the multi-generational housing. They're not just going to talk about the 55 plus stuff.
That's specific to your made-up client.
Exactly. They're going to tell you everything. And that's core to building that relationship. So you shouldn't have any anxiety about trying to figure that out, because it's their job to help you sell it, and it's your job to be prepared to sell it. So it's just a communication thing. And if you go in being you, just being relaxed and being yourself, that helps you to be able to do that. Imagining that I gotta be this thing that you made up in your head is what's gonna stress you out.
But act like you are interested in the project, like you're gonna buy it, because who knows, you might actually buy it, but you are actually interested in it. So if you go and like, I'm curious about this project, can you tell me more? And one of the side note, we've had 3 on-site agents come to us recently asking, hey, what do you think? How can we get in front of more agents? Which is why we do the on-site visits, brokers opens, because we're bringing agents that would never have met this sales rep and this sales rep that never would have met those agents. We bring them together and they love it. And there's nothing like walking into a sales center or just going out in general. Like I walk out, was at Festival of Speed, and then Marika's there. She's like, hey, David. And you do that with a client. Like when I walked in with you, what'd she do? She's like, hey. Like when you walk in places, if I walk into a David Weekly and Ina and her partner Max are there, they're gonna be like, hey, David, how you doing? Oh, Lee, y'all know each other. And so that boosts your credibility as well. So it's important to get out and know. Just walk in and have a conversation, because you never know, you might meet your next best friend and make a whole lot of money together.
Exactly. And on-site agents know this. And good on-site agents know this. So even if you've only been there once or twice, they know the value of showing your client that you know them. Clients are much more comfortable when they're going somewhere and they're like, oh, this guy comes here all the time. Because Damon walked in and Ina is like, oh, hey, Damon, how you doing? Not, oh, hey, what's your name again?
Yeah.
The worst thing that can happen, I think, one of the worst things when you go to a sales center is that you walk in and the salesperson doesn't know which one of you is the client.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, because they've never met you before. You shouldn't be meeting your client for the first time at the sales center, but you definitely shouldn't be meeting the sales rep for the first time when you come in with a client. So understanding that building those relationships, it's like any other thing you're going to do, is to build a relationship, but both of you are there intentionally. This isn't speed dating. This isn't happenstance. Neither one of you have any ulterior motives, at least theoretically. You want to make sure they know you want to sell some real estate. You know they want to sell you some real estate. It's your job to cultivate that relationship from there.
Thanks for tuning in to the Iconic Agent New Construction Marketing Podcast for Realtors. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast player. Visit theIconicAgent.com and grab the new construction buyer traction blueprint. And don't forget, join the 5,000 plus strong new construction marketing community at www.theIconicAgent.com/community. Catch you on the next episode.